Hey guys, hope you're having a great night. Thanks for coming to Politics and Life. This is Jordan. Let's get it started, y'all. You already know Hunter Biden was pardoned by Joe Biden, as he said for the past, over a year, 2 years ago, that he would not pardon his son, his crackhead son, Hunter Biden, who, if you checked out the Hunter Biden laptop, exposed a lot of disgusting behavior. Let's see that there's a connection between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden with these shell companies. They sold out the American people for bribes. Let's see, there was pornographic material on his laptop, child porn. There's pictures that you can actually go onto Twitter. A lot of this stuff has already been exposed. There's pictures and evidence that he actually got his brother's widow, his dead brother's widow, hooked on crack and was sleeping with his dead brother's widow. He is a disgusting human being. And the fact that Hunter Biden has been pardoned shows just how corrupt this administration and the Bidens are in general. We are going to go over Scott Jenning'S destroying the left's narratives, and we're going to go into a testimony where this woman explains the connection between the feds, the CIA, the Democrat Party, and Joe Biden and the Biden administration, and how they covered up the laptop from hell, as they call it. Disgusting behavior we see. They always contradict, and they always say exactly what they say, Trump's going to do this. Then they do that. They always say Trump's doing exactly what they're doing because the Democrat Party is the party of hypocrisy, as we know. It's so disgusting that they are not locked away, charged with treason. This administration is just disgusting, hands down. And the fact that they are not rotting away in a prison cell, starting with Obama, the Clintons, and the Bidens, just disgusts me and should disgust any American-loving patriot that loves this country. So let's get it started, y'all. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you are here from Twitter or any other platform. Politics and Life is my YouTube channel, or you can find me on California JB5460.
The motion to table is agreed to. We will now move to our second witness. Ms. Morris, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thanks so much for inviting me. My name is Emma Jo Morris, politics editor at Breitbart. I'm here today because I published a series of news stories 3 years ago in October of 2020 about Hunter Biden's now infamous laptop, also known as the laptop from hell, which is seen as some of the most scandalous reporting of the last decade. What was more scandalous than the reporting itself, though, was the fact that it exposed the unholy alliance between the intelligence community, social media platforms, and legacy media outlets. At the time, I was deputy politics editor at the New York Post, and my reporting showed that despite then candidates Joe Biden's repeated and furious denials, he was apparently involved in the foreign business deals of his family. Over several days, just weeks before Americans would vote for their next president, I revealed verified, authentic emails from the Biden Scions hard drive showing Ukrainian business partners receiving leaks from the Obama White House. I documented an off-the-books meeting between then Vice President Biden and a Ukrainian energy executive and introduced the world to the big guy who got action on a deal.
Anyone who doesn't know who the big guy is, it's Joe Biden. Joe Biden was getting 10% because he is the big guy. And the Democrats still till this day play stupid, play like the American people don't know anything. All you have to do is go on Twitter and search the Hunter Biden laptop and it exposes it at all. There's emails, there's literally checks, there's audio, there's text messages. What more do you need to lock up the Biden crime family?
With CEFC, China Energy Company. The Post published exactly how the material for the reporting was obtained, even identifying our sources, as well as a federal subpoena showing the FBI was in possession of the material the story was based on and had been since December of 2019. But when the stories appeared on social media that morning, the venue where millions of Americans go to find their news and editors to get their angles, within hours, the reporting was censored on all major platforms on the basis of being called hacked or Russian disinformation.
Yeah, the 51 CIA intelligence officers who said it was Russian disinformation, just like they said that Russia was the reason that Trump got elected in 2016. It's literally the same code words the CIA creates to try to persuade people that is misinformation, which is also a code word created by the CIA. Misinformation, disinformation, which just means it's probably true. Hey, Squidman, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great night.
Twitter refused to allow users to share the link to the stories, ban the links from being shared in private messages, a policy, by the way, that's used to clamp down on child porn, and lock the post out of its verified.
Child porn on Hunter Biden's laptop, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the pictures. It's not hard to find on Twitter. Literally, there's images of him getting massages from 4 to 5 young girls in the picture, multiple pictures. Disgusting. And I believe he slept with his little niece and smoked crack with her. Like I said earlier, he got his dead brother's widow addicted to crack as well, also purchased a handgun and left it right outside of school, invaded taxes. Disgusting that he's free. Hey, Sharon.
Facebook said it would curb distribution and reach of the links on its platform. However, the stories were not based on hacked materials, nor were they Russian disinformation. And despite those claims appearing to come out of thin air at the time, we would eventually learn that they actually didn't come out of thin air at all. On October 19th, 5 days after the Post began publishing, Politico ran a story headlined, "Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo, dozens of former intel officials say." God, I can't even say that with a straight face, you know? Politico printed a letter completely uncritically from veteran members of the U.S. intelligence community, falsely claiming that the Post expose has, quote, all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. My God.
It's literally what they always say.
Most notable among the signatories of that letter were Jim Clapper from former DNI, Michael Hayden, former CIA, John Brennan, former CIA. Despite having such damaged credibility following their participation in the Russia collusion conspiracy theory. A few days later, on October 22nd, when Biden appeared in the second presidential debate and was confronted with the facts of the Post reporting, he said to Trump, quote, 50 former national intelligence professionals said this. What he's accusing me of is a Russian plot.
I don't know what happens if someone gets pardoned, because if you can prove that there was treason committed or, crimes against children, which I believe the Hunter Biden laptop proves it, hence there's child porn on there, can you still go after them if anyone knows, like, who's watching? Because I feel like with everything that the Hunter Biden laptop exposes, that regardless if you're pardoned, you should be able to lock his ass up. But I don't really know what happens if you're pardoned. Like, are you just 100% untouchable at that point? Please let me know. Yeah, where is daddy? Exactly, nowhere.
But it was not, and he knew that. Now, fast forward to this year, 3 years later. Just last spring, House investigators revealed it was a call by now Secretary of State Antony Blinken to former acting CIA Director Michael Morrell that prompted the spy letter published by Politico, which bypassed agency approval processes that would have been normally applied. It is also now known that ahead of my reporting, federal agencies were priming social media companies to execute an operation to discredit it. Yep. According to internal documents released by Elon Musk upon his acquisition of Twitter, the FBI and other intelligence community members essentially directed the platform's censorship operation, in part externally by working with top management and in part internally by social media companies hiring eye-popping numbers of agency alumni. Journalist Michael Schallenberger reported, based on documents he obtained from Musk, that during all of 2020, the FBI and other law enforcement agencies repeatedly primed Twitter executives to dismiss reports of Hunter Biden's laptop as a Russian hack and leak operation. Feds arranged for top secret security clearances to be granted to Twitter management and even had encrypted messaging networks set up, which they dubbed a virtual war room. To this day, hundreds of people from the intelligence community work at social media companies. Over the last few years, my reporting has been confirmed by virtually every mainstream news outlet, from the Washington Post to the New York Times to Politico, when the stakes were nothing, by the way, 2 years later. No one denies that the laptop is real, that the origin story is exactly what I told you it was in the first place. This elaborate censorship conspiracy wasn't because the information being reported on was false. It was because it was true, and it was a threat to the power centers in this country.
Ding, ding, ding,
What
ding,
this
ding.
relationship between the U.S. government officials and American corporations represent is an unprecedented push to undermine the First Amendment, the right to think, write, read, say whatever we want.
Yeah, pretty much the Democrat Party are communists. It's going to take down Joe Biden, the big guy, and that's the reason why he's pardoning him, because he knows if he pardons him, he's going to be safe, which is just bullshit for tax-paying citizens who has to obey by the law, especially in regards to avoiding taxes for a year like Hunter Biden did, while making millions in other countries, not qualifying for a foreign agent, which he should have.
I follow the.
This is Chuck Todd, who was a huge Biden surrogate, now coming out today saying that the Bidens were selfish for running when they did because Hunter Biden got Joe Biden's old, or his brother who died, Joe, or what's his brother that died? But his widow hooked on crack. And so the Bidens were selfish when they ran Joe for president. But this actually is explosive, I feel like.
Hunter Biden trial very closely.
Mm-hmm.
I read every transcript, all the testimony, because that's what all that was made public. And there is, you want to get angry, just as somebody in just all these mixed emotions. You read the Hallie Biden transcript, and that's Bo's widow.
Yes.
And essentially he turned her into a crack addict. And this was all happening in 2017, 2018. And Joe Biden were so concerned about their family that they decided to run for president.
Yep.
So when you talk about the word selfish, it's almost like the word doesn't, their decision to run for president put the entire Democratic Party and the United States of America in the position that it's in now.
Yep. Well, guess what, Chuck Todd? You've been a talking head for the Democrat Party for years. I wonder why he's coming out all of a sudden today saying this, because he has been defending Biden forever. And now let's see what the hacks at The View are saying today.
What is she talking about?
I respect it as a parent. I understand why he would do it, but I wonder to understand why lie about it for so long.
I'd stop calling it a lie.
Okay.
What do you mean you'd stop calling it a lie? The man told the world he wasn't going to do something, and then he did it. He lied to us. The mental gymnastics they will do to try to allow themselves to continue to feel morally superior is wild. Well, let's not say that he lied, even though he told us he was not going to do something and then went ahead and did it. Whoopi's busy playing semantics. Now, listen to Biden's press secretary as well.
You have said repeatedly yourself since the election, the president has said for months, no pardon was coming. I wanted to ask you,
such an idiot.
Could those statements now be seen as lies from the American people? Is there really a credibility issue here given now this announcement?
First of all, one of the things that the president always believes is to be truthful to the American people. That is something that he always truly believes.
The gaslighting is absolutely insane. In the middle,
The Democrat Party, the big media who are just talking heads for the Democrat Party, think you are stupid. They think we are idiots, and it's infuriating how they test our intelligence on a daily basis, thinking we're just going to believe the bullshit that they feed us. Todd is afraid his job is on the line. Yeah, all these left-wing news stations are just disgusting human beings. They sell their soul for a quick million and don't even look back. But I hope at one point in time, they all lose their credibility, they all lose their jobs, and they go to jail for pushing these huge conspiracies.
of this man being called out for
Or just-
lying,
No, I
she's
can't
trying
say
to
that.
say that he always believes in being truthful. Well, why not be truthful? He lied. Now, if he would have said something like, I'm not sure, we'll have to see, a pardon's not off the table, I could respect that. But he went out there and worked to make the American people believe that he would not pardon his son, and that's what he told us. And then when push came to shove, he pardoned his son. If he's willing to lie to us about that, and she also lied on behalf of him, right? If they're willing to lie to us about these things, what else have they lied to us about?
Everything.
Really think about that. His son is indeed above the law.
Yeah, talk about nepotism right there. Nepotism at its finest. He's broken many of the laws and just gotten away with it because his dad, as we know, is the big guy. Nothing new. He's been getting away with it forever. So we're going to react to a couple of what the left's saying today about Hunter Biden being pardoned and what they think about it. Even Jon Stewart, huge leftist, huge Trump deranged liberal, is calling out the... Hey, that's China boy right there. The one that was sleeping with the Chinese spy right there, Rep. Eric Swalwell, the dude that also farts live on television. He has zero credibility It's amazing. This guy right here has not been locked up already for sleeping with the Chinese spy while calling Trump a Putin puppet. For difference is he got away with everything. They literally released Trump's taxes, spied on his campaign, locked up some of his people in his administration, and they're still going after him till this day, calling him a Nazi, comparing him to Hitler, saying his events and rallies are Nazi events and rallies. They have never stopped. And this is with a 90% favorable media for the Democrat Party. Could you imagine if we had fair preferential treatment across the board when it came to big media? I would say 2% of the country, because there is 2% that's lost. They would be supporting Democrats, and it would be like 98 for Trump. I'm telling you, the big media brand is dead these days, and it's slowly coming to it. They're dying very fast. We're going to react to Scott Jennings last because he just demolishes all left-wing media today on CNN. I mean, demolishes them. Trump can pardon all the January 6th people. Yes, I mean, we've been saying that for a while. A lot of older just women walking through getting just welcomed in by Capitol Police who literally caused no damage. And I mean, even if they caused a little bit of damage, the only person that died that day was a Trump supporter, an unarmed Trump supporter named Ashley Babbitt, who we need to pay respect to because she served in the military for our freedom.
Democrats portrayed the president as this great arbiter of morality and truth. They said that he somehow was a better standard bearer for protecting norms and the institutions of our country. And yet that wasn't true. They lied. So you can go all the way back to 2022 when they were asked this question. And the White House continuously, consecutively lied over and over and over again. They could have simply said, to MJ's point, to Chuck's point, the president isn't going to put his thumb on the scales of justice. He's going to wait. He hasn't made a decision yet. Most people would have expected that. They would have respected that. I think most people, to your point, Chuck, believe if it was my child, I probably would have done the same thing. That's not the issue, Jake. The question here, the burden on the White House, I would argue, is the continuous lies. You said that you were better than this other guy. You criticized the other guy for all of these things. And now your DOJ is committing witch hunts, and this is now politicized. Well, you appointed Merrick Garland. You can't blame Republicans for that. And I can only imagine, as I've talked to a lot of Republicans, if this were Donald Trump, and I know people are going to give him a lot of criticism for the pardons he's already given, but if this were him and Don Jr. or Eric Trump or Ivanka, I can only imagine what the headlines would have been.
Yeah.
And I will say,
can you imagine the double standard?
Democrats,
the double standard. I mean, they literally take any single thing that Trump says out of context, like one word in like a 3-hour speech, and they'll blow it out of context. But this dude, literally, there's proof. There's a laptop called the Laptop from Hell with child porn showing that he got his brother's widow, his dead brother's widow, addicted to crack. I think he smoked crack with their kids too. I mean, there's pictures of him with little girls giving him massages, as I previously said. There's child pornography. There's text messages, emails, audio even of Joe Biden that's connected. 10% for the big guy, as they say. But let's just obsess over Trump and take one word he says in a 3-hour speech out of context, which is what they do on a daily basis. Thank God big media is a dying brand these days.
And you're trying to walk this straight line that we're somehow better than Republicans because we care more about the future and state of this democracy. I think that's trash now. No one believes it.
Yep.
No one believes it. They've lost all credibility for the facade they portrayed for several years.
Facts. Yeah, no one believes them. I wanted to react to one more video, and then we'll go to Scott Jennings. Or actually, no, we're going to go Scott Jennings right now. So I got a couple clips from him destroying CNN today.
Things that
Here it
they were
goes, y'all.
NBC News reported that the president and his top aides met this summer and decided two things: that they were going to keep this option open, but they were going to publicly maintain that they would not pardon Hunter Biden through statements from Joe Biden and statements from the White House press secretary. They had a meeting. They coordinated the lie, I guess, for political purposes. And now that he's leaving office, he is going back on what he told the American people. This isn't simply changing your mind. This is just fulfilling what you always intended to do. No Republican is shocked that he is doing this. What I am shocked at is the duplicity of the president of the United States and his top aides to come together and form this lie and stick to it this entire time. We all knew it was ridiculous. And now the American people are seeing what a disgrace he really is.
I think it's incredibly rich to have you say that the people got together and they were duplicitous and they created a lie.
NBC News said it.
I'm saying they created a lie because
News said it.
Honestly, what the other side
Politics girl.
Simply by saying, well, I'm just out looking out for
Isn't it amazing how far these people will go out of their way to defend the Bidens? It is amazing. But the littlest thing about Trump, before even the proof comes out, because 99% of the time it is a lie about Trump, they will already be jumping over to say, oh yeah, it's true. Oh yeah, it's true. Just to backtrack 3 months later. I mean, these are the same people the last 2 years who said, unlike Trump, Biden won't pardon his son because he believes in the justice system, as he pardons his son right before he's about to leave office. These people are disgusting human beings.
But why would he have answered?
What do you mean?
Why would he have given such an oddly specific denial numerous times? What could it have possibly been?
Scott, I have no idea. All
Politics,
no,
corruption,
Scott,
partisanship,
sure.
grifting. That's the answer.
Would it have
That is
been,
the
the
answer.
Trump administration had an opportunity to investigate it. They could not verify the things that you're alluding
They
to.
verified.
Wait, they tried to, and he got impeached over it. They impeached Donald
impeached.
Trump over the
Wait a second,
investigation.
Yep, he called Ukraine and said, why is this DA, or I forgot what was DA, getting fired for looking into Burisma, into Hunter Biden's dealings with Burisma, and they tried to impeach Trump for that call. If you guys remember the call to Ukraine, because he was like, I've heard a lot of stuff about the Bidens having shell companies out here. I want to look into it. And so the Democrats tried to impeach Trump during that exact phone call. So no, CNN just playing ball for the Democrats as usual.
Scott,
That Hunter Biden has now gotten a pardon.
you
for.
don't think
It's a quick point of fact.
2 points.
The Department of Justice investigations, indictments into Hunter Biden. This has nothing to do with the Republican Party. They don't run the Justice Department. The Justice Department, as you might know, since you had been in the government at one time before you lost your race this year, is an agency of the executive branch.
That's Jamal Bowman, guys, just so you know, from New York, who just lost his reelection. I love that Scott Jennings just said that.
The Attorney General is appointed by the president. This is the Biden administration investigating, charging, and ultimately finding conviction of Hunter Biden. The Republican Party runs no investigation. This is an official DOJ action, is it not?
Well, look.
Just say yes. It's
No,
okay.
no.
so? Are we saying we have a problem with all of those things?
How many of the Trump children that we were told are corrupt needed pardons? Zero.
Scott,
No one looked
The difference is with the Trump family, they actually ran businesses. They have casinos. They built skyscrapers. They helped build part of New York. What have the Bidens done? Joe Biden has been in politics for 100 plus years. He's never had a real job before. Hunter Biden, he smokes crack and just lives off his deadbeat dad's resources in the government. They do nothing. They benefit Americans zero besides selling out every single day. And right now they're selling us out by opening the border wide up to these illegals and providing these illegals with unlimited resources off our taxpayer dime. Why the F do we even pay taxes to begin with right now when they're just going straight into the pockets of these corrupt Democrats and these illegals?
Okay,
It's
Scott,
Scott,
to
I would
your
love to know
point,
what
to
Derek
your
Kushner
point,
getting
Scott,
$2 billion
to your point,
from the Saudis.
the Trump children did not face federal charges. To your point, I'm going to give you that. But the person on here, Charles Kushner, who was convicted for a crime.
Did he go to jail?
Yes, he was living in Alabama prison.
He served time?
But he was
Yes, he
Did-
was
did
in
Hunter?
prison.
He did
They
not.
completely different crimes.
It strikes me that one of the arguments against
So
This pardon.
you didn't answer the
He's
question.
literally
though.
moved
Are
from a
those
jail
things-
cell
no,
in
okay.
Alabama
my mind,
to a
they're not equivalent. They're
I'll
not
answer.
equivalent in
Guys,
any way,
hang on
shape,
a
or
second,
form.
please.
But it's right. You're bringing up an issue, and you brought it up, so I want to address it. This idea that Hunter Biden is being selectively prosecuted. Now, one of the core criticisms of the Republicans, and Trump specifically, during the Biden years, is that the Department of Justice is engaging in selective prosecution and investigations of Republicans. And today, what I hear Democrats saying is, you know what, you're right. Joe Biden's DOJ does engage in selective prosecutions, which is exactly why we need people to come in and clean it out now. There seems to be bipartisan consensus.
But
Selective prosecution.
Does it open that?
All these three-letter agencies from the top down, just wipe them clean, come in with the military, arrest all these unelected bureaucrats who are committed treason at the highest order on the American people on a daily basis. They are going after parents at school board meetings. They're going after people who are praying outside abortion clinics, or even burning down churches, allowing it to happen with Antifa and BLM during the riots of the Summer of Love. I mean, the amount of times you are seeing the law be broken, but then for law-abiding citizens to continue paying taxes while this kind of crap's going on a daily basis is just imaginable. It's disgusting.
That door, Congressman.
What door? I'm sorry.
The door
Can I
to
ask a question? Do you all think that Merrick Garland should be fired because of this corruption at the DOJ? You think there's corruption there? You think this was a politicized witch hunt? But the
No.
Attorney General should be held accountable, no?
These
All his
charges were
bluff.
trumped up because his name is Hunter Biden.
But wouldn't
Period.
that, wouldn't you, if you were
He
the
had
president,
good
wouldn't you
pressure.
believe the attorney?
Let's consult.
let me
Let's
let him
consult our legal
No, I just-
expert.
Yeah, because it's Hunter Biden. Yet he's going to see no jail time, no fines, nothing. Yeah, they're all trumped up, all right, while he breaks the law.
There are Democrats saying they're not happy that President Biden made this decision.
Yeah, well, tough. The president went ahead and did what he thought was right for him and to protect his son.
Joe Biden is leaving office making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump that anybody could possibly make it. And that's that our government and our justice system is of, by, and for the elites.
Yes.
And nobody
yes,
else.
Tell him.
He ran to banish Trumpism from our political system in this country, and he has left it politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure by the head of the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Never again do I want to hear, oh, Donald Trump's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. Donald Trump will abuse his power. Donald Trump will only use the system to benefit himself and his family and so on and so forth.
Yep.
Never again.
Tell him.
I have one question for Karen, and that is, why did he need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president? We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what crimes, and Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly, roughly, when it started. He knows just about when it all.
Yeah, isn't that a coincidence that that's what the pardon is lasting towards? This is just amazing. The whole Democrat Party is being exposed. The Biden administration, another dwindling. It's just disgusting. I don't need to keep on pausing it. Sorry, guys. It's just disgusting seeing this type of behavior because the Democrats will just bend over backwards to defend their politicians. But then when it comes to Trump and the Republicans, they will just call them racist. They will just jump to conclusions before the facts comes out. And it's a daily process. And people are waking up and we're sick of it.
All started. He's leaving office in complete and total disgrace. He is a liar. And there is no other way to spin this today. This has nothing to do with Trump. And
thank you, Sharon. Yes. Appreciate it.
Everything to do with the character of Joe Biden.
That Republicans have been for years now trying to attack the president himself, go after his family. And when you have someone who literally ran their campaign on retribution, on the idea of I will be your retribution and getting back at his enemies, I would imagine, obviously I haven't spoken to the president about this, but I would imagine the president took a look at this and said, I want to make sure this is ironclad, that there is nothing that can be done to circumvent what I'm going to do to protect my son and to try to take the target off of his back once and for all. So that's my reading of it. But again, I think that the hypocrisy here is astounding.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Donald Trump has said and done things, said things that
they can never give clear examples. They will literally just take one word, for example, retribution, and just say, oh, it's clear hypocrisy. We got documents. We have emails. We have pictures. We have audio. I mean, he also left classified documents in his vehicle, which he was getting paid for to write a book years down the line for $5 million. That's illegal. You guys want to call it Trump for that? Biden did the exact same thing while he wasn't even sitting president. Trump was the president. Biden wasn't. And of course, DOJ let him off with no charges. But let's just talk about Trump all day long. Trump, while he literally committed no crime. So we can name many of crimes that the Biden crime family has made. All you have to do is look up the Hunter Biden laptop. It's real easy to find. It's on Twitter. All the documents are on Twitter.
And done other things. And again, he's a convicted felon himself. He has used his power to benefit his friends, his wealthy allies. In this instance, we're talking about a man who decided to take care of his son after years of unrelenting attacks. I don't blame him.
You guys can spend all day long trying to spin this, that this is Donald Trump's fault, that this is somehow caused by Donald Trump. Oh, he's appointing the wrong people. Oh, he did it. Oh, this is the worst possible thing a president could possibly do to his party and to the country, to sit for a year.
I'm telling you, This is going to wake a lot of Democrats up. They're not going to be happy about this because they trusted the process, as Joe Biden said, we trust the process. And then last minute on the way out, because he knows Trump's going to lock these lifetime politicians up, these unelected bureaucrats up, and Hunter Biden and people like Hunter Biden who sell foreign influence through bribes, selling out the American people for money and political gain. He's going to lock them all up. And I hope there's a way that we could still lock up the Bidens, because it's disgusting that this guy who broke many felonies, many laws through the process of years and years using his father's name, the Biden name, is able to just go away scot-free. Disgusting.
And say, I will not do this. I will not do this. The rule of law is sacred. We have to respect the justice system. Juries, we have to respect juries. We have to respect the guardrails and the norms of our democracy. These people are liars. Inflation, it's transitory. Afghanistan, it's a success. The border is secure. Robert Hur is a liar. The videos are cheap fakes. Biden has a cold. He'll never drop out. Oh, how?
Yep, these are the same people that have been saying, like when Biden, before he dropped out, that he was tough as nails and that he was swift and he's never been better. And then during the debate, he fell like he had dementia, like he's on his last days, which obviously he is. He can't even speak right now. They think we're stupid. The Democrat Party thinks Americans are stupid, hence why it was a red wave.
Never pardon Hunter. It's all a lie. It is all a grift. Every American, except the most partisan, brain-rotted people, are going to be outraged by this today. He is going to leave off. You think 38, 39% job approval is bad? Just you wait. Just you wait. He's disgraced. Today. Outrageous. Are you fine with the lying? Are you fine with him sitting before the election all year and lying to the American people? Are you fine with the lying about it?
I don't think that he was lying. I think he made a decision after the fact.
He's the big guy. What do you mean he wasn't lying? He got paid out through all these deals. There's text messages again, emails, checks, audio, video. I mean, what else do you need to prove that he is the big guy? I mean, these people just live in denial, and then they'll accuse Trump of exactly what Joe Biden is, a thug and a criminal.
And decided this was the right thing for him and for his family.
Wow.
Period. Full stop. Donald Trump decided that
Trump Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre. How many minutes of tape do we have of both of these people telling the American people this will not happen? It's
there.
I mean, we could play it all morning. It's a lie, and it's a lie to benefit his own family, and that's all that it is. And everybody who went on TV and said, "Oh, look how he's the modern George Washington," he's drained every ounce of credibility from every surrogate. If Karine Jean-Pierre had an ounce of self-respect, she'd get off the plane in Africa today, where they're going, so he can avoid the press and resign. He's drained all of her credibility, and everybody else who's defended this, it's draining for
and the fact that she can come out and still defend him after she's been the one who's the spokesperson for the president and said for 6 months now that he wouldn't pardon Hunter Biden, and now she's defending him pardoning Hunter Biden. This administration tells zero truth. They think you're stupid, and they've been exposed. They've exposed their cards, and now the Democrats are in panic mode because no one trusts them. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I love Scott Jennings. I'm really starting to like him. He is the only reason I watch CNN, because they hire the dumbest people on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, MSNBC. They're all just talking heads for the Democrat Party. They think you're dumb. Well, we're not dumb. We are the new news, guys. Hope you guys have a great night.